All right, Bryson DeChambeau joins us after shooting a stellar 4 under 66 in the first round of the 105th PGA Championship. Bryson, could you have drawn up your first day any better than that?
No. I mean, it's a fantastic round of golf at Oak Hill. It's a prestigious place, very difficult golf course. As I was looking at it throughout the week, I'm like, man, I don't know how shooting under par is even possible out here in some of the golf holes. But luckily I was able to play some really good golf, hit a lot of fairways, do my job, and make some putts.
Great. We'll start with some questions with Jeff.
Bryson, the comparison coming in from a lot of players was this reminded them of Winged Foot.
Yeah.
You see some of that, and if so, it's good news for you.
It is, right? But it is more nuanced. I've said that a couple times now, where you can't just run it up every single green. You got to have, there's some forced carries, right? So it's a little bit different. It's a different test, a test that I'm willing to take on. And, you know, if you're driving it well and hitting your irons well, you can play out here, but it can get pretty nasty pretty quick if you're not hitting it straight.
Mike 12.
Bryson, you've undergone a pretty striking physical transformation over these last 5 years.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, as you kind of reflect on that, you said it's been a hard 5 years for you.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, you know, a lot of diet changes and eating a lot, going from 5,000 calories down to 2,900 now or something like that with Carrie. She's my chef. She helps me out with all that. But eating properly instead of eating stuff that inflames my body. I took a Zoomer peptide test, which essentially tells you what inflames your blood when you eat it. So like I was allergic to corn, wheat, gluten, dairy, pretty much everything I liked I couldn't eat, right? So I took that out. I started taking that out in August, and over the course of time I've just lost all this inflammation, lost a lot of fat, and just slimmed down like crazy. I lost 18 pounds in 24 days. It was crazy. It wasn't fat. It was just all water weight. It was a lot of water weight stuff. Well, you know how I looked before. I was not skinny. So a lot of changes in that regard. Obviously, having the hand injury was no fun. And then learning to play golf again with a new hand. It's been a while. So nice to come back and start to finally figure out what's going on with my golf swing. As I've told you guys before, I've struggled with my driving. You see me out there on the range, and something I don't want to do. I don't want to be out there all night, but I've had to try and figure out what I did so well in 2018 and what made me so successful then. Feel like I'm catching on and trending that direction. Figured out a couple things this week, and it's certainly paid off today.
Do you think you're closer to the end of that journey or the beginning of that journey?
The end of it, for sure. I want to be just stable now. I'm tired of changing and trying different things. Yeah, could I hit it a little further? Could I try and get a little stronger? Sure, but I'm not going to go full force. It was great. I mean, shoot, I can hit my 8-iron 200 yards now, whereas before it was, 175, 170, something like that. So it's a tremendous asset. Like 7, I could hit 6-iron, 8-iron to the green, where guys are hitting hybrids and trying to fit it in there. So it's an asset, and it was a fun experiment, but definitely want to play some good golf now.
All right, let's go to Mike 4, followed by 13 and 14.
Bryson, it sounds like despite losing this weight and kind of going back the other way, you really haven't lost much in the way of distance and power. No. How have you been able to maintain that, but yet has this transformation again impacted your game over these, the last 6 months, 9 months, whatever, trying to figure it out? Yeah,
I mean, look, it's helped me have more energy, first and foremost. What was the first question again?
Just about it. Even though you've lost weight and muscle and everything, it doesn't appear.
No.
You've lost distance.
Exactly. So the fast twitch stuff is still there. Like I built that, I ingrained that in. I mean, long drive is more fast twitch than anything. Yeah, you got to build a muscle system where you can support it, but a lot of it's fast twitch. You see these guys that are just lanky and they just hit it really far. It's because they're fast twitch, and you can train it. It's not easy to train. It hurts. But you can do it, and I have it now, and it's fantastic. I don't really have to do much to get to 200 ball speed. I can get to 200 ball speed if I want to, but with a golf swing that makes it go straight, I'm not going to swing it that fast.
Yeah, Bryson, I'm curious about what you've been most surprised by this week. You mentioned how hard the golf course was and how far you shot under par. What has been just the most surprising part of your week so far?
Well, hitting the driver straight finally has been the most surprising part because I'm so used to hitting it everywhere, and look, it could happen tomorrow. I don't think it will, but I feel really confident. And golf is a weird animal. You can never fully have it, like Arnie said. You know, you always think you have it one day, and then it just leaves the next. So just got to be careful.
What did you find that's allowed you to hit it straighter this week?
It's just being more. Okay, this is. How do I explain this easy? I'm just in a place where I'm more ulnar. I'm keeping the handle higher through impact, and that just allows the club face to stay more stable. I feel like I was pushing down to the left, and it was closing the face down really hard, and I had low left, high right. So, I mean, that's 5 years of trying to figure that out, and not being able to as well. Like my wrist, and has not been able to do it.
Bryson, you mentioned to Marty that you had doubts about whether or not you could get back
Yeah.
to this level. How serious were those doubts?
How serious were they? Oh, I mean, look, you never know truly when it's over, right? Every day it could be the next one. But each day I had always this glimmer of hope that I could get back to it. It was never like I got nothing, I'm done, there's nothing. And I could have easily just been like, you know what, I've had a great career, I'm good. But I didn't, because I knew I had it in me to do it every single day. So I went and worked as hard as I could every day. There were times where I doubted myself, severe doubts, but never got to a point where I was done. Maybe for like a day I was done. I was like, you know what, I'm just going to take a day off, whatever. But next day I always came back, all right, I think I got something.
Let's go 1 and then 8 and 9, please.
Hey, Bryson, over here. How would you, obviously your results on Live have not been what you want them to be, and I'm just kind of curious what you've been doing to try to manage that, probably frustration, for lack of a better word, and
keep practicing. Simple as that. I mean, you know, Connor's been with me through thick and thin, and Brett has as well, and it's just about, let's go out and let's practice hard. Let's go figure it out. Let's go work. Let's go find the people that can help me get back to what I did in 2018. That's it.
how difficult has it been to manage those, those?
And the emotions have been, the emotions have definitely fluctuated pretty high and pretty low. Thinking I have something, then it fails, and going back and forth. But it's humbling, you know. Golf and life always has a good way of kicking you in the, you know what, when you think you're on your high horse. So it's nice to feel this today.
Alan?
I was kind of going to ask the same thing. I mean, you seem so chipper now. We're used to seeing you a little oppressed by golf, it felt like.
Absolutely, yeah.
What is your relationship with the game? How has it changed, and how do you feel about it right now?
Look, I love the game, and I love being a part of helping inspire kids to play golf and grow the game whatever possible way I can. But I will say that there have been times where it's just like, man, I don't know if this is worth all of it. But again, like I said, you wake up the next day, and I'm like, oh, there's that glimmer of hope, and I want to go do it. It's a bit of an addiction, I could tell you. But it's just about giving yourself hope every single day. So that's what I tell anybody too. Like, as much success as I've had so much more failure, and you got to be able to jump over that failure to get that success. And the more that you push back on failure and go, no, you know what? I'm going to go try and I'm going to try and be better. I'm going to try and figure out the next day, or whatever it is, and whatever thing. It doesn't even have to be golf. The more resilient you can become, and that's the beautiful part about the game, is it always gives you another opportunity to do better.
There are times that you hated golf?
I was disappointed. I don't know if hate is the right word. It was more of just frustrated and disappointed. Like, how I've achieved this, why can't I just do it every day? You know, that's what we all think out here. But it's definitely a game you can't conquer.
We'll wrap it up. Mike 9.
What did it feel like, Bryson, to understand that your body was like super inflamed? Was that something you were even remotely aware of? Like, how can you explain?
Remember the head stuff that I had at Augusta? That's when I started feeling weird. And ever since then, I've just made it my full process to figure out what that was. I couldn't figure out what it was. Like a minor symptom of vertigo, and I couldn't stabilize. Equilibrium was off. Found out like I had problems with my nose. I got that fixed this off season. It's just been a continual progress of trying to figure out what's going on, because I just haven't felt like I have enough energy every day. Halfway through the day, I was just crashing, and then when I was hitting golf balls, I'm like, I get lethargic. So I couldn't practice for as long, and had to sleep a lot more, and never really felt recovered in the mornings.
You feel like looking back that journey was a mistake or a part of the journey that you needed to
No,
go on to figure out?
Again, I'll
who
say
you
this to the day I die: everything I do is not a regret nor a mistake. It's just a learning process.
Great. Thanks for your time, Bryson.
Thank you. What do you weigh now? I weigh like 210 to 215. Yeah.